over some like footage from like a couple of weeks ago, and then just the rest of the meals I had today. So basically what I want to kind of talk about is how I've approached basically losing this weight to get to 66 kilos. So this evening after my session I weighed in at 66.75 I believe. I'll put a picture up of wherever it was, which is good considering it's about just under 2 days out. So I started at low 73 kilos, which would mean that when I actually hit 66 or lower, it'd be about 7 kilo loss. Now, before coming into this week, morning weigh-ins were very high 67s, which is actually kind of good because that means that I actually didn't have to be so drastic. However, I kind of want to keep the same routine that I had last time because it worked. So basically, I keep everything the same in terms of macronutrients up to, I believe, Wednesday. However, I increased my water to about 1.5–2 gallons of water a day, and increased my sodium as well from like 2,500 milligrams to 5,500–6,000 milligrams a day. Now, sometimes people like to cut sodium out 2 to 3 days before. We'll have very little. How I kind of kept mine very high today, which is Friday, and the meet's on Sunday. So, you know, it depends on how you work, but obviously as sodium is such an important micronutrient in terms of muscle contraction with potassium, I thought it's really better to try and delay the reduction in sodium. So I just kind of got some pointers down here which I'm going to go through. So you keep everything the same up to Wednesday in terms of macros. Now I changed the macros so that you're still 2,200 calories a day, but my carbs reduced down to 100. The reason for this is that for every gram of carbs, you can hold up to 4 grams of water. If you think about that, so if you're having 100 grams of carbs, you can hold up to 400 grams of water, which is nearly half a kilo. And that half a kilo could really make a massive difference in your weight. Increasing your dietary protein, obviously, if you're keeping the calorie the same, obviously you're gonna manipulate your fat and protein. So increasing your protein does actually help in terms of water loss as well. And so every gram of protein loses up to about 14 grams of water, and that linking the reduction of carbs really makes a difference. And then, so for the Thursday, I reduced my carbs down to 50, for the exact same reason about water. And then Friday, which is today, down to 25. On Saturday, it reduces down to pretty much 0, or as little as I kind of consume. Now, I keep my water very high up to Saturday. Now, from Saturday, I reduce my water to 1.5 litres, of which from Friday I will have introduced caffeine back into it. Now, I can't run off caffeine mainly because I want to become like less tolerant with it, which actually has worked, which is great. Now, reason why I put caffeine back in today and for Saturday is that it's actually a diuretic, which will help you obviously get rid of water, etc. And then, as well as increasing your water, now, I want to quickly say that obviously all of this is just to do with weight, not fat loss, and generally it isn't actually like the best thing to do, but obviously as I've done this before and I've redone a load of research into it, I know what I'm doing. But if you guys want to comment down below on any suggestions or comments about how I'm doing this, then please do, and I love talking to you guys on that kind of social aspect. So from Thursday to Saturday, my calories were reduced down to 2,000 calories as well, which basically just reduced the amount of food I can kind of consume. Also on Saturday, I will reduce my fibre and my volume. So in the morning, I'm eating as many calories as I can, obviously within the bracket of the 2,000, and with the bracket of pretty much 0 carbs. Reason for this is that having like really high calorie dense food would mean that there's actually less food within your stomach, which obviously reduces the overall weight of your body anyway. And also kind of giving yourself that kind of 24-hour fast from when you eat will help you lose weight as well. Again, with water, is that if you're worried about making weight, weigh yourself exactly 24 hours before you're going to weigh in. So tomorrow I weigh myself at 8 o'clock, and depending on what I weigh will depending on when I cut my water. So for example, for every 4.5 hours you lose up to a pound of water roughly. So if I'm, a kilo off, then I would probably go for 3 pounds. So that would mean I would be cutting water out at about 5:30 in the evening. That'll give me enough time to drop those 3 pounds in terms of water. However, because I want to make sure I'm really safe with it, I probably will stop at 3 o'clock. Now, in terms of the day, so I'll come in at 8 o'clock, weigh in, and now the next 2 hours are so important. So I've got to rehydrate myself and then kind of replenish my glycogen storage. Generally, because I'm going to be using all the simple carbs and complex carbs straight away, it's actually unlikely that there's going to be any glycogen stored anyway, so it's going to go straight into glucose and help me obviously with energy wise. Now, so what you want to do is as soon as you finish your weigh-in, you want to try and get in about 1.5 to 2 litres of water. Now, the reason for this is that you want to quickly rehydrate yourself before you eat any food. Within that, you can also help with dehydration by every 500 millilitres you can add in around about 25 grams of carbs, and I believe it's about 4 grams of salt. Now this is a really good ratio to help with rehydration. Generally loads of athletes do this when they have to make weight, so like boxing, etc. After you do consume this, right, you want to get some more sodium in, because obviously muscle contraction, and potassium, obviously with muscle contraction. So you want to focus on like bananas, sweet potato, normal potatoes, stuff like that, and then just add like salt on top of it. Generally at this point you want to kind of keep your fibre low as well. The reason for this is that fibre does really bloat you up, and if you forget, for instance, I use a lever belt, and you have to have like a screwdriver to change it, and the last thing you kind of want to do is forget your screwdriver, and you kind of fucked, because if it's too tight then it might affect you in your lifts, etc. But obviously I'm going to go over another video about what you bring in terms of your first powerlifting meet. In terms of during the day, try and consume some sort of simple carbs with sugar about half an hour to an hour before you're lifting. So at 9 o'clock or 9:15, I will have some like sweets, etc. Not too much, but just like probably about 25 to about 70 grams of sugar. Now the reason for this is that you want to kind of have enough simple carbs to kind of boost you up with energy, obviously because you're cutting your food out after about 9 o'clock the day before. As well as this, you also want to have complex carbs about 2.5 hours before your first lift, so that would be at 8:30. So 8:30, sweet potato comes in, new potato comes in, maybe some brown bread, brown rice, something like that. Now the urge to have donuts and just loads of crap would be high, but you got to think for the whole of the time you've been kind of prepping, you need to have food which you're used to, so your body can your body doesn't have any massive changes. So just wait until after the meat to kind of pig out. So I'm going to meet the cure and have some Krispy Kremes and all that. So that's what I'm looking forward to after the meet. In terms throughout the day, just keep having a little bit of sugar and some complex carbs as well. Reduce like your protein a lot from what you're having throughout the last like full day. Also caffeine as well, it will really help kind of pick you up. Have between like 300-600 grams of caffeine throughout the day, not all at once. You don't have a massive crash and you get to deadlift and you're just like, I just can't fucked. Pretty much. So you want to make sure that you're peaking perfectly at each lift. But after you kind of do all this stuff, just remember why you're doing it, and just have a lot of fun. Like, I think a lot of people, the first powerlifting meet, try and worry about too much, all the little things, and don't actually enjoy the day. And I found that actually with the first one, I was so concerned about lifting and stuff, and like a great tip is to actually if you got like your first attempts and you think that it might be a bit too difficult, just drop it. Like no one really cares what you start with, what you end with. Like you could start with like 130 squat and like finish with like 180 squat. Unlikely that will happen, but like it doesn't matter. Whatever you finish with is like obviously the most important thing. You go to your overall total and then record, etc, etc. But yeah guys, just remember to have so much fun when you're doing it, and then just be supportive of everyone there, because obviously if it's other people's first time, they're gonna be nervous, and just have fun. But cheers guys for watching. I know it's been a bit long, but I'm really excited, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace.